Guide for Inner Spiritual Work by Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. Lesson number 50. Two situations. There are two situations to the world. One, the world of suffering, and two, the world of Shina, the appearance of the Creator. It is so because before one is endowed with correcting one's deeds to be in order to bestow, one feels the world as more pain and torments. Before a human being has become worthy to correct his deeds, his intentions, for the sake of the Creator, al nat lehashpia, he experiences the world of suffering and pain. When he becomes worthy, he notices the Shekinah fills the whole world. The Creator is named He who fills the whole creation. The whole world is named Shekinah because she receives from the Creator. This condition is named the merging of the Creator and the Shekinah. However, afterwards one is endowed with seeing the holy divinities clothed in the entire world, and then the Creator is considered to be filling the world. Then the world is called Holy Divinity, which receives from the Creator. This is called the unification of the Creator and divinity. As the Creator gives, so the world is now occupied solely in bestowal. Because the Creator gives at His creatures, in the same way the creatures will be giving at the Creator. You can compare this with a sad tune. Some players know how to perform the suffering about which the tune is composed, because all the melodies are like a spoken language where the tune interprets the words that one wants to say out loud. If the tune evokes crying in the listeners to the extent that each and every one cries because of the suffering the melody expresses, it is then considered a tune and everyone loves it or loves to hear it. However, how can people enjoy suffering? The tune does not point to suffering or does not point to present suffering, but to the past, meaning torment has already passed and was sweetened and received their filling. For that reason, people like to hear them. It indicates the sweetening of the judgments, that the pains one once had were sweetened. This is why these sufferings are sweet to hear, and then the world is called Holy Divinity, or the world of Shekinah. The important thing one should know and feel, that there is a leader over the city. As our sages said, Abraham, the patriarch, said, and there is no city without a leader. One must not think everything that happens in the world is incidental, and the Sitra Achra causes one to sin and say that everything is incidental. This is the meaning of Hamat, vessel of Keri, semen. There is a Hamat filled with Keri. The Keri brings one to think that everything is bemikre, incidental, even when the Sitra Achra brings one such thoughts as to say that everything is incidental, without guidance, so not by chance, but the Creator wanted it this way. However, one must believe in the reward and punishment. There is a judgment and a judge, and everything is conducted by providence of reward and punishment. This is because sometimes when some desire and awakening for the work of God comes to a person, and he thinks it comes to him by chance, he should know, here too he made an effort that preceded the hearing. He prayed to be helped from above, to be able to perform an act with intent, and this is called the raising of man. One has already forgotten about this and did not consider it doing because one did not receive the answer to the prayer instantaneously, so as to say. For you hear the prayer of every mouth. Still one should believe that the order from above is the response for the prayer that may come days and months after one prays. One should not think it is by chance one has received this present awakening. Sometimes one says, "Now I feel that I don't lack anything and I have no concerns. My mind is clear and sound now. For that reason I can focus my mind and desire on the work of God." It follows one can say his entire engagement in the work of God. And the work of God is his power, and the might of his hand hath gotten him that wealth. When one can engage and attain spiritual needs, one should believe this is the answer to the prayer. When a person has interest for a Kabbalistic book, he receives some shining and inspiration. This is to be seen mostly as coincidence, but everything happens strictly according to the laws of the Creator. Though one knows the whole Torah is the names of the Creator, how can one say that through the book one is reading came some kind of sublime sensation? One must know that one often reads the book and knows the whole Torah is the names of the Creator, but nevertheless receives no luminescence and sensation. Instead, everything is dry, and the knowledge that one knows does not help him at all. When one studies in a certain book and hangs his hope in him, one's study should be on the base of faith. He believes in providence and that the Creator will open his eyes. At that time, one becomes needy of the Creator and has contact with the Creator. Then one can attain adhesion with him. There are two forces that contradict each other, an upper force and a lower force. The upper force is as is written, "Every one that is called by my name, and whom I have created for my glory." This means the whole world was created only for the glory of the Creator. The lower force is the will to receive, arguing that everything was created for it, both corporeal and spiritual things. All is for self-love. The will to receive argues that it deserves this world and the next world. Of course, the Creator is the winner, but this is called the path of pain. It is called a long way. Instead of there is a short way called the path of Torah. It should be everyone's intention to shorten this time. This is called "I will hasten it, otherwise it will be in its time," as our sages said. Awarded, I will hasten it, not awarded in its time, that I place upon you a king such as Haman, and there is a possibility for a free conscious progression by his own wish, and that is named good, Ahishanah. When one doesn't follow the way of Ahishanah, he follows the path of the compelling force of the suffering by punishment, Bito. As the wise man said, Bito or Ahishanah. Or you will go forwards on your own wish, or I will set a ruler over you, just as human who will force you to return to the right path. The Torah begins from Bereshit, literally in the beginning, etc. Now the earth was formed, or the earth was unformed, and void, and darkness, etc., and ends in the sight of all Israel. In the beginning, we see the land is unformed and void and dark. There's darkness. But then, when they correct themselves to bestow, then they are granted. And God said, "Let there be light," etc., until the light appears in the sight of all of Israel. Please review the written materials for the lesson. At the end of the lesson, there's a table with 4 columns. What to correct, with what, result, and goal. Be well. Until the next lesson.